Welcome to the Wyoming State Library Database of the Month. Find the magazine, find the article. Often we have a patron who wants to know if we have a specific magazine or journal, or a kid with an abstract who needs full text to write a paper. How do we find it, given all our resources in GoWild.net? Before you refer to interlibrary loan, let's check out some sources. We'll begin here at GoWild.net. Below the subject areas for all our databases, and next to the More tab, you'll see Journals A to Z, Find Full Text Coverage. Here we can search by title or pieces of the title. So let's begin with one, a title you know you don't have. But you do. You own Yachting Magazine, even in landlocked Wyoming. You'll see that it gives you the information that from January 1984 to present, we own it in General 1 file, a Gale database, and Student Resources in Context. And from 2001 to present, we own it in EBSCO's MAS Ultra School Edition and Master file. But let's go up and look at another one that we might actually have questions for, and I'm going to type in Highlights for Children. So here under Highlights for Children, again, you'll see that from September 1993 to present, we own it in Master File and Primary Search, and from 1996 to present, we own it in General 1 file. I'm going to select Master File Premier so that we can look at how the record looks for an EBSCO database. Once you get into the publication information, you'll see that it tells us that there are citation records in this database from 1989 and full text from 1993 to present. This is also where you would see information if there's an embargo on this specific title. On the right-hand side, you'll see all the issues available, and you can click and open that up. So if I click on 2017, for example, I can now browse all the issues of Highlights for Children. I'm going to select December. And here you'll see all the articles in that issue, December 2017. Notice that they're in full text, in HTML and PDF, or one or the other, as the case may be at certain issues. We can go into a specific record, and notice there are multiple pages at the bottom. So be sure and scroll through those. And let's look at Light Up Winter with Ice Lanterns. Again, it's available in HTML and PDF. Look at the left-hand side, we can go to PDF full text. Here we can print out our PDF full text article. And on the left-hand side at the top, we can go back to our results list. So let's take a look at another one. This time I'm going to look at Backpacker, just so we can get used to following this sequence of events to get to full text. So we've looked up Backpacker in our Journals A to Z. And again, we see that from 1990 to present, we own it in MAS and Master File, EBSCO databases, as well as Biography in Context, General 1 file, and Student Resources in Context, which are Gale databases. So I'm going to select General 1 file, and you'll see that the page is set up a little bit differently, but you still have the citation coverage, as well as full text coverage. Our 2017 dates are listed here in the center. But on the left-hand side, there's a drop-down menu to go to back years. I'm going to go to 2016. And again, as we saw in the EBSCO database, we've got our list of results, and they are in full text. You can see that in this database, you can also save. I'm going to select our title, and it comes up in our HTML. On the right-hand side, I can get citation information, which your students or teachers will need. I can also email this article. So now that you've found it, we don't need to go through interlibrary alone, and I can email, download, or print this article. Also notice at the top, I can download the PDF. And again, at the top here, I can print this article out. Okay, let's go back again and notice on our search bar that we've been using title begins with. I'm going to use the drop-down menu, and notice I can do title equals, so if you have an exact word, so we could have done that with backpacker, or title contains all words. So if you're not sure what the title is and you know it has gardening in it, or you're not sure of the order of the title, or how it's, if it's got a number symbol or if it's got the word spelled out, you can use this drop-down menu and do title contains all words. So I'm going to type in sport utility, and you'll see that we have a title called four-wheel drive and sport utility. So this one would have hung you up a bit because of the number 4 and the ampersand. So it's good to be able to use that title contains all words and narrow down what you're looking for. So then again, I can go into General 1 file or student resources in context. We've looked at Gale and EBSCO databases, but Gale also has an in context suite. If we go into General 1 file, like we've seen before, it gives us our dates that we can select from, and we can go into the full text. However, if we go into an in-context database, if that's what your choice is to finding this in full text, you'll see that it takes you all the way in to the in-context database. So what you'll need to do then is use your limiters on the right-hand side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type a word in search within results. And now I found the word I'm looking for. I know that Student Resources has it in full text, and here's full text of an article in four-wheel drive and sport utility. Not all of them will be available in in PDF, so watch for that when you're searching these, that they may just be an HTML. Back at the eJournals A to Z, you'll also see that we have show more search options, and you'll see that we can look at an alphabetic list just by clicking on a letter. And of course, this is going to give you hundreds, if not thousands, of results. So you can hover over the page numbers. Notice when I hover over page 5, below that it's telling me my beginning and ending titles. So I can kind of tell where I am in the alphabet on this title list. The other thing you can do on this eJournal portal page is use the subject. For example, languages and literature. This is also another way to get to what journals you have access to in our gowild.net and find out if we have them in full text. So I did languages and literature, and then we can just select one of these, so literature, just general literature, and now it's going to give me 479 titles. Again, if I hover over the page number, I can jump alphabetically to that page and see all the titles that we have in our databases in full text using that subject access. If you're in an EBSCO database, such as Master File, Primary Search, Middle Search, Academic Search, Premier, and you find yourself with just an abstract, there is an option to check for full text. So I'm going to go into Master File, and let's do a search on winemaking. And here's our search results, and you'll see under each one of our titles that we have it indicated whether we have it HTML, PDF. I'm going to scroll down and show again HTML, PDF, and ones that say request this item from interlibrary loan. Again, I have multiple pages. So I'm going to select this one, Best Wines of the Year, and instead of clicking on request this item through interlibrary loan, we're going to check to be sure we don't own it somewhere else. So I go into the record, and on the left-hand side, notice I have a link that says check full text availability. So I'm going to click on that. And now we see we do not have it in full text in master file, but we do have it in full text in General 1 file from 1984 to the present. So let's go back and look at our record. It's from October 2017, and let's go find it in General 1 file. So here's October 2017. And we could go scrolling through all these articles, or again, on the right-hand side, we have search within results. So here's our article, the best wines of the year. And again, it comes up in HTML, or I can download it into PDF. And again, also, I can email, download, or print this to get it to our patrons. And the same when we look at the PDF, I can print that out for our patrons. I'm going to go back to our results list and be sure that in some cases, you're not going to be able to find the record. So I'm going to go back to our list here and go back to the first page to this article in Condé Nast Traveler. And you'll see I can click on check full text availability. And go into General 1 file, but it was a December 2017 article, and these are all still citations. They're too new to be in full text. So be sure to go all the way in and check it out when you're looking at your list. The other one I want to show you here on this list, and go back to our results list. I'm going to look at this one in Better Homes. I'm going to click on full text, and notice I have 0 results. So this is a quick way to find out Better Homes is not owned electronically in our GoWild.net resources. You can use check for print availability. They've had some issues with that, and they're working on this, but normally this would take you to what libraries own that in paper. So watch for that, that if you don't find it in full text, that you can check to see where we own that in print. So I just want to review quickly. I'm going to go back to our search results, and we can put in our terms again. You just put in your search term, watch for your full text, watch for request this item through interlibrary loan, and look at the record and check the left-hand side. Check full text availability. Now the next way we're going to look, and that is in Wildcat. So I'm going to go into Wildcat Catalog. So now we've looked at ways that we can do it from the GoWild.net page. Let's look at ways from the catalog. So in the search box, I'm going to select periodical title, and I'm going to select or type in Smithsonian. And select the record for that. You'll notice that it gives our holdings at the bottom, but here under our description, our title, you'll see we have electronic access to the Smithsonian from Gail. So I'm going to click on that, and it takes me into Smithsonian. I can also notice below that we also have access to it in Zinio. And again, I'm going to click on that. Well, that's had some issues with this upgrade with SAS, so I've already opened Zinio. So it would take you into Zinio where you could log in. So we'll look at Zinio here in a second, but know that when you link to that, this will work as they get this all updated from the migration. And speaking of Zinio, let's just go ahead and do that. So let's go into GoWild.net and click on Zinio. You just click on Login Now. You will need to create an account and register as an RB Digital user. Once you've logged in, then you'll be presented with all the magazines that we have access to full magazines cover to cover. Now you can browse through just by clicking through the pages, or we can do a search. So we wanted to look for highlights for children again. And we'll see that we do have highlights for children. Notice there are back issues, and I can check this out because I've logged in, and I can start reading. And here you'll see, again, we now have access for our patrons, full text, cover to cover. The other thing you can search with is here under genres, we have a drop-down menu. And one of them I wanted to point out for sure, and that's here under business and finance, that we do have another resource for the economist here in Zinio. We can also, I'm going to put it back on all genres, and see what we have, what titles we have in Spanish. As you can see, there are several options to finding full text. If you have any questions, please contact us here at this state library. But I hope you'll venture in trying out Journals A to Z full text coverage, as well as finding full text when you're in an EBSCO resource, as well as looking through Zinio. Thanks for joining in. Bye now.